How are altcoins looking right now? What is the data telling us? In today's video, we are going to have a look at Bitcoin. We are going to have a look at some altcoin charts. I'm going to show you some very nice data that we have available right now, which can tell us most likely the direction for the market in the next coming months. So guys, drop a thumbs up and let's jump straight into it. Bitcoin is seeing a good bounce, Q4 of the the third year of the bull market cycle. Guys, I want to emphasize, if you believed right here that the bull market is over, that the bull market is done, and that we are going to see way lower levels, then this would be a period where you actually want to start taking profits on Bitcoin and altcoins. I'm personally not going to do that because, like I said in my previous video, I'm a delusional bull and I just going to bet, maybe gamble on the fact that we are going to see a very good Q4. And I'm not the only one who says that, because Eric Trump even mentioned it as well, that Bitcoin might be going to 200k by the end of 2025. He's saying in this video that Q4 generally is a very good moment. And guys, the thing is, what I'm seeing right now in the markets, there's just a little bit of a perfect storm going on. We have today, we actually have CPI coming out, so probably there's some volatility today. 29th of October, most likely the next rate cut will be there, which can be a little bit bullish in anticipation, right? But what's also going to be interesting is that the end of October, when we see the rate cut on the 29th, we most likely get and that would be very bullish, but it's not confirmed yet. We most likely get an announcement from Jerome Powell, Federal Reserve as well, that they stop with quantitative tightening, start with quantitative easing, increasing the balance sheet of the Federal Reserve. And the previous time, guys, they were doing that, that was actually the start of an altcoin season. So what we see right now is we are in the last year of the bull market. Q4, most of the time, the most bullish period for crypto in general. And although the monetary structure right now does not completely align, it is going to align probably at the end of this month. So you want to definitely be open to the fact that we are going to see a bullish Q4, especially after this big flush where many people have left the space, took profits or took losses. And, because they all thought that Bitcoin is going lower. And so far, Bitcoin is bouncing. And let's have a look at Bitcoin first, and then we are going to have a look at some altcoins. So we have maybe somewhat of a inverse head and shoulders pattern right here. I like this because we have a low. We have a second low retest of that lows, as you can see. And then we have another low, which is a higher low, showing that in the short-term time frame, we potentially transition into an uptrend. Then I want to share with you guys some data from Will Portal. And when we have a look at the data profile on Will Portal right here on the daily time frame, it's actually looking pretty good if we are in a bull market. So what you are seeing right here is we have the red is selling pressure, the green is buying pressure. So in a bull market, you want to see the selling pressure, the red, you want to see to go to a very low intensity red. And then is the time that the price goes up. Right, so that's also how we were kind of like predicting the previous move in Bitcoin, because we said that, okay, during this period, we have very high intensity selling pressure. We have to wait till it's cooling off. Now it's cooling off right here. We have some consolidation. Once we break out, this is a confirmation. And then when we have high intensity red again, we have again something pressing on the Bitcoin price. It's like really the pressure, selling pressure. But right now we can see that the red intensity is getting lower, and we even have some green dots here and there, which means that there is some buying pressure coming in as well. We have the momentum indicator probably forming a higher low compared to this low, to that low. So that doesn't mean that Bitcoin cannot go lower. Here you can also see the intensity of the red decreases, but we're still in that swing to go lower until it's decreasing even more and until we get buying pressure. But generally, guys, this is a good sign, right? In a bull market, low selling pressure should always result in the price to go up. If we are in a bear market, then low selling pressure can actually cause the price to come down. But so far, we have not yet seen that. Then let's quickly go over the stablecoin dominance, guys. Stablecoin dominance is looking very interesting. This is US dollar Tether with USDC. The reason why it looks interesting is because it just shows the opposite of Bitcoin, right? So it's like a round, Bitcoin is forming this rounding bottom, potential bottom, at least short-term bottom. And we are seeing the opposite with the stablecoin dominance and also the relative strength index right here making lower highs, showing that the momentum from, basically the momentum from this chart is going down, and that is something that you want to see. We are at some support right now, so this is definitely again a moment, maybe with the CPI, that we're either going to get a bounce right here or going to go down. If these things get a bounce, Bitcoin goes down. If these things go down, Bitcoin goes up. Okay, guys, we are just going to go over some quick altcoin charts, okay? I find interesting that I would just want to share because there are some similar setups on these altcoins. It's not necessarily that I say you should invest in these altcoins. Definitely not. I'm just going to pick some random altcoins that we normally don't look at and just show a little bit the charts, right? So here we have DYDX. This is a decentralized exchange token. You can see we make lower lows on the daily time frame, while the relative strength index is making a higher low coming from oversold conditions because of this big wick to the downside. Generally, guys, it doesn't really matter which chart this is. If I would see something like this, it definitely screams bounce in your face. So I think it's actually looking quite positive, but for the full-blown altcoin season, we really have to see whether this bounce have any meaning and can reclaim any levels that we have lost previously. That's of course very important. I'm pretty positively surprised with the recovery of Luna Classic because this one just got like crazy dump, guys. There was really a flash crash, but so far we have seen pretty good recovery, like really good recovery. We are right now from the lows up 180%, but we are pretty close, not completely, but there's a little bit of a gap left, but we are pretty close to the levels pre the flash crash. Combining that with a level that Luna is holding against Bitcoin, I find also very interesting. This is WikiCat. WikiCat is a meme token on the Binance chain, and what we can see right here, I believe, like for a meme token, this is holding actually pretty good because it is at the same levels we were before the flash crash. This token hasn't really seen that big of a flash crash, which is pretty surprising for a meme token anyway. But generally, guys, I think this is looking pretty positively when we are seeing these meme tokens kind of like still holding, because intrinsically, of course, these tokens do not have a value, so that still means that people are willing to take risk, and that's a good base we should have for an altcoin season which might come in next month. Another token I want to share, guys, is XPL. The reason why I want to share XPL is that we do have somewhat of a nice like lower low on the daily time frame. We don't get that bullish divergence, but if we flip over to I think an 8-hour or 4-hour time frame, we do have it. So let's go to the 8-hour. Yeah, the 8-hour we do have a very clear bullish divergence after this flash crash. So we have a flash crash, retest, bullish divergence. So the thing is, guys, and this is basically a little bit the message of today's video, like I think many altcoins, they showing a nice setup against Bitcoin. They're showing a nice setup against US dollar, but they're also showing a nice setup against Bitcoin. For example, Luna, for example, Litecoin, these are some tokens that I think are they are at macro support of the charts, especially against Bitcoin. And the big question right now is, of course, is Bitcoin going to make the final rally? Because it is definitely necessary that we are going to see first the rally into Bitcoin. Maybe that can be a very short rally also, but at least some strength in Bitcoin. And most likely we really would like Bitcoin to break the previous all-time high, because once it breaks the previous all-time high, it will be brought up into the mainstream media. People will start to get insanely bullish again, and it will draw people back into the crypto markets, right? All the attention comes once we break new all-time highs. That's the same like you probably, you might have been investing in gold, right? But most of you, or many of you, maybe not, but you hear about gold only once it goes parabolic, and once you see all these people in line in the shops trying to buy gold, right? This is with a lot of stocks. You always hear about the stocks, also with crypto, once it breaks new all-time highs. So we need to get that confidence back in the crypto markets as well. But like I said earlier in this video, I think there is a perfect storm. But the storm can also pass over, right? There are no guarantees in these markets. That's very important to realize. But if you have some nice charts that are setting up pretty nicely, right? And we are definitely still a little bit delayed with altcoins, because it is Bitcoin first, might be very short, might be an insane rally, by the way, like Eric Trump talking about 200K by the end of 2025. I definitely think it's possible. 200K is definitely on the higher end what I think Bitcoin is going to be. But I think 200K is possible, of course, if we haven't seen the bull market top and we are going into that final rally. I really do believe, guys, that we have as well in this universe, we have certain laws, and these are hermetic principles, and we have the hermetic principle of rhythm, we have the hermetic principle of polarity, so forth and so forth. And I think for everything that we have seen in the past, there has to be an opposite situation happening as well. So when Bitcoin crashed from roughly $70,000 back to $15,000, there was a big crash. FTX went insolvent. It was crazy times, right? It was really crazy times. But we haven't seen an opposite of that. And it's the question will be, of course, whether that opposite will be happening in Q4. Or whether we have some strange transition where we have like the bull market go slowly, then we have a slow bear market in 2026, and then we have this crazy mania phase in 2027, 2027. This is what I'm thinking personally, but I do not think that we are going to zero and that this market will leave the space. I do not think that, because it's just way too many advantages, especially in our day and age with everybody immigrating all over the world. Like nowadays, everyone needs crypto. It's kind of dangerous if you do not have crypto, to be honest, right? If you have, for example, all your savings in a bank account, it's not the safest, right? It's also probably not the safest to have all your money in crypto, right? It's all of these things. But in the world we are living in today, being diversified in crypto just brings a lot of advantages. And the only advantage in the uncertainty that we are living in right now can already be, for example, a war that's breaking out or some conflicts that's breaking out. Because, for example, when Russia and Ukraine had this conflict, a lot of Russian bank accounts were not working anymore, so a lot of them had to deal with crypto, right? That was the solution to that problem, because they got kind of like blacklisted in many countries to use their bank account, because it's such a centralized system. So that's the danger in these times when you are only... So what I'm trying to say with that, guys, I think there is an intrinsic value in crypto because it's just cross-border, right? It makes payments so easy. So there is an intrinsic value. That means it will not leave. There will always be value in it in the world we are living right now. So that's why I think it will hold. So that's why I also say we're either going to get a very bullish Q4 2025, and I'm leaning to that scenario because, like I said, we have a nice setup. The Federal Reserve is going to increase the balance sheet. They're going to quit quantitative tightening. There's going to be another rate cut. But I have to say as well that the rate cuts have been going up like crazy, something like we haven't seen, or the interest rates have been going up like crazy, something like we haven't seen in the past. So this will eventually manifest as a big correction in all the markets, in the regular financial markets and also in crypto, right? So when the Federal Reserve is going to increase their balance sheet maybe by the end of this month, and I think it's pretty likely 29th of October, at least we're going to get an announcement for a rate cut then, we do go into these economical structure again where people are going to risk on assets, which is a situation where altcoins could thrive. It's not a certainty right now, but it is possible. That's why I'm giving this warning as well. It is possible that the bull market will be prolonged, and that if we top right now, I don't believe the bear market will be that deep. It won't be that deep. If we would be in a bear market right now, we definitely get some like a flush in the markets and some losings in the portfolio. That's definitely for sure. But it won't be that big as 2021, because we cannot have an extreme down and then not an extreme up and then another extreme down. That is, I don't think that is a market that is really in balance. That is in balance with the laws of nature, and every market is in balance with the laws of nature. They have to be, because that's how it works. So like simplify, Jeroen. Don't make it too complicated. I think the best chance is we are going to get bullish Q4, November, probably start of altcoin season, but we have to get that Bitcoin rally before, followed by Ethereum. But generally, we are in the best season. We are in the best season. If you believe we did enter a bear market, you want to be taking profits at these moments right now, because then we probably, if you believe we've entered the bear market right now, we have already a small bounce. You want to take profits on these bounces if you believe we're on a bear market. If we are in a bear market, I think the market won't go that deep and we get a very bullish 2027. But I see that as a kind of wild card scenario, because I still lean to the fact that we have to see an equal reaction to the bearishness we have seen back in 2022. But yeah, guys, that is just my thoughts on the markets. Nobody knows exactly what is going to happen. You can position yourself. But what I also said in my previous videos is, like, we always encounter these moments that we just don't know. Like, you know, sometimes you have these moments that you really think like, yeah, I'm now 100% sure. You know, and you feel it in your bones and you are 100% sure. And these are most of the time very good moments, right? For me personally, it's often when Bitcoin bottomed. So when Bitcoin went to 15K or went to 3K, everything in my bones was screaming like, yeah, this is the bottom. I'm 100% sure. You know, go for it. Right now, there is a period where it's not so sure, because we don't see in the chart what is going on. We don't see the strength. We don't see the bear market weakness yet. We are in this limbo phase, like in this transition phase. Like, we either get this crazy rally or we either enter the bear market, and everyone is right now in this confusing state. But sometimes you have to grab onto some signals that you like. And for me personally, some signals that I like is seasonality. I think seasonality is probably really good. But also when I look at the alt Bitcoin pairs, and I see, for example, and especially I bring this altcoin a lot up, this is Litecoin, because I did the same with XRP. When I was mostly invested in Bitcoin, right? Then when XRP BTC chart went to this macro low, you know, I was just like, I'm going to risk a lot, because often it just takes off from this low, right? It's a macro structure. It's not like a 4-hour time frame structure. That's completely different, because the chances of a macro structure to change is very low, right? A 4-hour structure can change still quite quickly. It's not that significant, but the higher the time frame, the bigger the structure, the more reliable that structure is. So that's what I'm seeing with Litecoin now too. Litecoin is at this like magnificent buying level, We get the ETFs being approved maybe at the end of this month, maybe next month. Also, again, fitting in that perfect storm. But the thing is, like, you don't know how the market looks in 1 month, right? But once we are in next month and maybe the prices all go up, it's very easy to say from that position, looking back here, I felt like, yeah, it was obvious. But it is not obvious right now. That's the whole point. So you gotta grab to some signals that you like, signals that have worked for you, right? And for me, the signals that have worked are these macro structures in buying zones. And I know that when you are in these support levels, it is these waters of uncertainty that you have to go through in order to get to these moments where everything is kind of like unfolding and it's obvious that it happened that way, but you just don't feel like it right now. But this is really my personal interpretation of the markets, and I also really want to emphasize the fact that I can be completely wrong. Like I said in many of my videos, guys, I've been a very bad trader in taking, bad investor in taking profits. And I see many other YouTubers, I'm not that I have to name any of them, but I just see many of them, they are talking about the Bitcoin top. And when I hear their reasoning and when I see their trading results, I'm like, yeah, you guys have quite a good track record. You guys have did great things. You guys are smart. You guys name some very good reasons why we might have topped. That's the confusion, right? But I, like I said in my previous video, I'm just this delusional bull. I'm not going to let go of this dream that we are going to see a good Q4 right now. If we maybe get some weakness and we break some key support levels, which can really change my perspective. But for now, I'm just going to stick around and see where this all goes, because I think somewhere if you wake me up next month, if I go to sleep tonight and you wake me up next month, maybe in the middle or the end of the month, I think everything is going to look way higher than we are right now. But also, again, I can be completely wrong. So I'm just sharing my honest perspective right here. So again, to summarize everything, I believe Q4 will be bullish, but I also believe that I can be wrong, right? There are uncertainty in the markets. If we have a bear market, it is a very strange market because we didn't get that opposite reaction from the bear market lows, which means we need to get that opposite reaction in the future. So then I would say that the bear market is not going to be that deep. It's not going to be that deep as a general bear market, and 2027 might be like a really bullish year. So then you need more time, right? You need more time. Altcoins have been completely annihilated in this bull market. And guys, it was the different bull markets. It was not different. It was also like that. But yeah, right now we are going into this perfect storm. We are, altcoin, Bitcoin valuations are also at pretty low levels. There is going to be, and this is what I've learned from all the years being in the markets, there is going to be that moment that the market is going to look different and that things we have seen in the past will be coming back. Right, altcoin season, like right now, it's very difficult to imagine an altcoin season, right? It's very difficult because we haven't seen a real altcoin season. We have seen some altcoin hypes, like the ISO 222 hype back in late 2024, which was actually pretty nice. But a real altcoin season we have not seen for many years. So it's very difficult to imagine right now how that might look. But I can tell you already right now from previous bull markets that I've experienced, if a true altcoin season comes back, and I think in some form it comes back, this is how the market works, because the market is also governed by all these hermetic principles. So I think it's going back. That's my personal opinion. And if it comes back, it's going to be hard to imagine how high the prices are going to be. Prices can go. There's no guarantee, of course. They can go absolutely insane, like doubling each day, right? really crazy price action in altcoin season, like really crazy. I've seen it in 2017, I've seen it in late 2021, I believe was the previous one. Prices can go insane. So I also believe that once these altcoins maybe bounce a little bit up, right, many people will have the feeling, oh, right now I'm taking profits, because they have been stuck in that feeling, me too included, in that feeling of altcoins just going down. And if my portfolio gets back to the same level it was before, I'm just going to exit. Or maybe when it goes a little bit above, I'm just taking some profits. At least I have profits, and I'll wait for the next cycle. But what I've learned as well is that once it goes, it goes. It really goes. So I also want to stick to that principle. Once it goes, I'm also going to stick to it and take profits somewhere in the middle. I don't need to get the exact top, definitely not. I know it's very hard to get the exact top. I'm not trying to be perfect in the investing. I'm just trying to stick to my personal principles that have worked for me. And like I said in my previous video as well, like sometimes when I really feel like, okay, maybe I should sell, and I'm already in the like taking some actions or looking up how to sell like this, I know like, okay, you know what, it's better to buy, right? It's better to buy because I've been going through the process in my life just so many times that sometimes you just get like, you get so many times sell at the wrong time that you suddenly recognize, and this is the power, guys, this is really the power, you recognize your own emotional state. So you recognize the fear in yourself. Wow, now I'm taking an action based on fear. That means that everyone else is based on fear as well. And I know for a fact, and this is all the market participants, most of the market participants, they all feel the same. If you if you in the evening are scared with your portfolio, you're not the only one. It's the whole market. And look at how scared we have been. Look at how annihilated the altcoins have been. There will be an opposite reaction, and once that comes, it will not be just like a small bounce. It will be like, it will be in the news. We have green candles. It will be crazy. It will be absolutely crazy. That's what I personally believe, guys. Yeah, that was my rant for this beautiful Friday. Hope you guys doing well. And yeah, I want to thank you all for watching. And I wish you all a very beautiful day today. And I hope to see every single one of you in the next video. Bye-bye.